Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting podcast. Sean Higgs coming out here. It's Wednesday, March the 19th. And as always on a Wednesday, I'm Matt Fargo, Brian Bitler with me to talk some college basketball. But before we get to that, you know how I spend the first 2 minutes hitting the like, share, subscribe, notification bell. So you know each and every day when the college hoops free picks come out, NBA. Next week will be Major League Baseball. And speaking of baseball, we do have some division preview videos up for you with win totals and who we think is going to win each all the AL, NL divisions there. You can find that on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Again, like, share, subscribe, get that algorithms up, send it to your friends. Leave a comment. Comments are good. Let us know what you think about these three games today. And what do we 37 and 29 with college basketball free picks. So the free picks are winning here in college hoops. Our premium plays are, you know where to find them. Our sponsor, gamblersworld.net. The three of us, the three amigos, plus 10 other handicappers, all of our top plays available at gamblersworld.net. Where the March Madness package is up right now for just $2.99. All college basketball through the championship game. That's your NIT, your what's it called? And NIT, the Crown,
CBI?
Yes.
The
We got them all.
The new
We got
Crown.
them all included there. The Crown with DePaul. DePaul, you know, the tournament when DePaul
Right.
shows up in the college basketball tournament. They got you all covered in there. We have the daily pass for $69.99. We have weekly 3-day, 7, and 30-day packages, which are guaranteed. Now, those packages a little bit more expensive, but they're guaranteed to show you a profit, or we credit you back, and then you go at it again. We have a leaderboard to see how everybody's doing. NBA, college hoops, NHL, all right there for you. And, of course, with the NCAA tournament, the bracket is up. Your chance to win $1,000 cash money. There you go. Gamblersworld.net, the bracket is up. It's real simple. You want to come in here after the fact, oh, your picks stink. I can do better. This is who I have today. All right, you know what? Here's your chance for $1,000. You don't have to be 63 to win that or whatever it comes out to. I think it's going to be 64, but more, right? Whatever. I'm not doing the math in my head. I'm stupid. You don't have to be undefeated in the tournament. You just have to meet more than the other guy. All right, so cost you nothing. As much as the like button is free, this one is actually free, but a chance to win cold, hard cash. They're not Wawa coupons. It's not like you're going to go to Jersey Mike's and get $1,000 worth of their chicken steak subs. No, money from gamblersworld.net. Speaking of money, we're going to try to make you some for Thursday. We're going to talk about the Wednesday games a little bit here. We'll talk about these. We've addressed these already. We did playing games on Monday and Tuesday. Yesterday here with these guys, we talked about the playing games. I did with Doug and Chip on Monday as well. We're going to look at three early Thursday games, the three early games, that 12:15, 12:40, and 1 o'clock. So these are the early ones. You get a whole data to enjoy them. But we'll also tap in. You're going to watch this. We'll hit on anything today in the NIT if the guys like anything. We do got two playing games. We'll talk about last night's game. But first, let's say hello to our special guests today joining me. Well, they're always here, so they're not really guests. They're here all the time. Brian was showing me off-air nice Mickey Mantle baseball card. I love it. But what do you think about last night's game? North Carolina doing pretty much what we thought North Carolina would do. Or at least I did. You know, chip on their shoulder. We didn't to be here.
It's a free pick. I had San Diego State yesterday. That kind of let me down. Seeing that run that North Carolina went on. What was it, a 20-2 run?
Holy cow!
But unfortunately, that's the way that game went. But overall, yesterday 2-1. I lost on Alabama State. They threw a cross-court pass, but I got lucky with the Islanders because they were down 2-0 going into the third period. Came back and won, so I'll take that.
A little ice, little cold cash on the ice for you in March from Brian Bitler. Matt Fargo, what do you think last night?
Yeah, 2-1 in college hoops last night. One of those games was Chattanooga, the NIT plus. It was plus 2.5. And it's one of those games where I went in overtime. I'm like, oh, got the underdog. I'm screwed. When it double overtime? Yep, I'm screwed. When it triple overtime? Yep, screwed again. But somehow they came through finally for a one of those underdog overtime wins that seem to come very rarely this college basketball season. But Lost with San Diego State. That was just a bad call. Totally bad call on my part. Talked myself out of North Carolina. I originally leaned to them, and just that that quad one record where San Diego State was right on the cusp of it, that just drew me off it. But kudos to them. Who they have now? Mississippi next. We'll see what happens going forward. But big night tonight. Got 4 college hoops games ready to go, 3 in the NIT and 1 first 4 game.
There you go. NIT and first 4 up for Matt Fargo at gamblersworld.net. Brian, got anything up for today while we're at it?
Yep, I got 1 in college basketball. Well, actually, I got 3 college basketball plays, 1 NHL, and 1 NBA play. So head on over there. If you want all 3 of my college basketball plays, they're in a private play 3-pack for $50.
There you go. Or you want NBA and the ice, you get a daily pass, folks. Get them all. Don't pick and choose. As I say, you could pick your friends, you could pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Don't try to pick just one package, and then you get the one, and all of a sudden it goes, it goes 1 and 2, and the other games go 3 and 0 or something. You can't. You got to put them all together. You got to get them all together. That's why you get a pass like that. Now, we did do the playing games for today, so you know what? We're not going to talk about the Wednesday playing games. You got to watch yesterday's video for that. But anything in the besides your premium plays, I only have 1 game up today in the NIT. I got a total. I hit both my totals yesterday. Anything stick out in any of these other games that you don't want to, that you aren't selling? Any I didn't like the card at all today, personally. I like Texas. I sort of like American, and I have my premium up. But other than that, just because there's basketball, I don't know. I didn't love it. You guys obviously found a few more gems in the rough there, but it is what it is. Again,
yeah, I mean, a lot of it. Yeah, with the NIT, a lot of it, you can look at raw numbers, the stats, whatever, and sometimes they can be meaningless in the NIT. It's a lot about motivation. Whether some teams want to be here, some teams don't care. We saw it last night with who was the St. Bonaventure. They got rolled at home. Georgia Tech, same way. Some teams just want their season done. Where some, like a team like Jacksonville State, they lost in their conference tournament championship, but they want to keep going, and they're going to play like it. And you're going to see situations like that a lot in the NIT. We see it every year. After the first round, that kind of goes away after they get their initial win. So, but the opening round, you can pick out the spots. You just have to do some research on it. You can tell. And so some of these players are already opting out, which is crazy to me. It's NCAA football all over again. So
yeah, opting out, like they're got to get ready to go play in the G League or Europe. I don't understand.
Right, that's exactly it. Right, these NIT teams. Right, a couple players who, one was for Bradley. He opted out, then he decided to come back. But another one of his teammates continued to stay out, to prep for the G League or Greece.
Brian, Matt brings up a good point about the motivational factor for these smaller kind of tournaments. Is that something you kind of look at too as well? Like who's
for sure? Yeah, if you have a team that is a perennial big dance team, and then they're stuck playing the NIT against a team maybe like North Texas, who winning the NIT would be a big nice accomplishment. I'd take a look at that for sure.
Yeah, no, agreed. All right, we're talking Thursday NCAA tournament games. The big dance, all right, the big enchilada. We'll start out with Brian. You got the 12:15 tip here. Early game on Thursday. Louisville Creighton, 2.5, a 145.5, almost a home game for Louisville here. And what's there to say about Louisville? Pretty good season, 18-2 in conference play, not too bad. Losing the championship game, you lose to Duke. I'm not really upset about a nice season like that. And we said yesterday, the fact that these guys go 18-2 are in this game, no respect for the ACC at all. Do you like the points of Creighton? I mean, this is a team. I don't want to say similar, but 15-5 in the Big East. So I think the breakdown of good teams and bad teams are pretty much the same. Is Duke St. John's Duke probably a little better, yes, but on the whole, I kind of look at conferences in the set of these things, and you're not going to find teams really wet in the bed coming down the stretch, right? Everybody's going to be on kind of like 8-2 kind of runs, all kind of similar. Everybody has a loss in the tournament unless they won. But what do you think about this one? You like Louisville with the home court? Maybe you're a Blue Jay guy here. What do you got for us?
This is a very tough one, but I'm going to lean here to Creighton plus the points. I look at Louisville. This line seems kind of light, at 27-17 versus 24-10. They come in ranked 10th in the nation, the Cardinals. If you look at their wins, they're 9-1 last 10 straight up. But, NC State, Notre Dame, Florida State, Virginia Tech, Stanford twice. They did beat Clemson. But for me, I could see Creighton hit a three-pointer late to backdoor with Louisville winning the game. So I'm going to take Creighton plus the points. I like to have points in my pocket. I think these teams are pretty even.
Creighton in the points from Brian Bitler here, plus 2.5. Plus 2.5 is the official pick here from Brian. Matt Fargo, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I agree. I think Creighton is the right side here. The one thing to look at Louisville, they went 18-2. They beat Clemson twice. Only 4 quad one wins on the season. 2 of those obviously against Clemson. The other 2 came against non-NCAA tournament teams. So they really haven't beaten anyone else but Clemson. Looking at Creighton, they're coming off the loss to St. John's, a big loss. But when you're facing a team that goes 17 for 19 in their last 19 shots throughout the game or throughout the second half, you're not going to win many games that way. So, Creighton played a definitely tougher schedule. They won 6 quad one games. Definitely keep it close. Definitely, as Brian said, the backdoor is definitely in play here. The outright win is in play as well, even though this game is, in Kentucky. They will have the home crowd, but I like the Blue Jays with the bucket and a half.
And I think we see with the move here, if I remember correctly, this was a kind of like a pick'em sort of opener, right? This was a one kind of short number here when it opened up, and it kind of moved a little bit there because I saw 1.5 early. So I guess people are thinking, it's a home, kind of a home game in Lexington here, close enough. But as you both mentioned, who have they beaten, right? It's like the fact that they're 18-2 and they come in as an 8th seed. But yet on the flip side, I don't want to dwell on North Carolina. If this is what you think of the ACC, how, again, North Carolina, big win last night. It's just weird. It's just one of those things. I'm back to the seedings here. This is it's like Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a KenPom net kind of top 10 team, and they're on the 8-9 line or whatever the hell they're on. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, man. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, I mentioned yesterday, Louisville beat Clemson twice, but they're an 8th seed, while Clemson is number 5 seed. So, some of these seedings are a little off.
Yeah.
So it's hard to look at these games based on seedings, because I think they're just kind of skewed this year based on, the conference expansions where they can't play a team until the second round in some cases. So you have to look at raw numbers as opposed to seedings. Like you look at, as example, but Friday, Colorado State's a 12 seed, and people are calling for the upset. Well, Colorado State's favored. It's not going to be an upset even if the 12 does beat the 5. So you have to kind of throw seedings out at this point, I think.
Yeah. Anything to add, Brian?
I think Matt Fargo hit it right in the head. Colorado State's a perfect example of that. Maybe if they rank them based on their how they should be ranking them, Colorado State might not be at 12. Louisville might not be where they're at. Just I think it has a lot to do with those conference teams playing each other in the first round.
I didn't like the huge conference, like whether it's football or basketball. But this is, I think, a prime example of stuff that wasn't really on the forefront of, well, if we do this, what's the big deal? Then all of a sudden you get a tournament, you want to take 10 teams, 12 teams, 14. You're like, what? Oh, they can't play each other? All right. You get some quirky matchups for sure. All right, official though pick here. Creighton for Brian Bitler. Matt Fargo agrees. I'm kind of tossed up on this one. I think that they're pretty evenly matched teams. So, again, we're basically all on Creighton here. Official play, Brian Bitler for the video. Creighton Blue Jays plus 2.5. As I had mentioned, 37-29 with our free pick in college basketball. Not too bad here on the season. If you want Brian's best bets, whether it's college basketball, NBA, or NHL, head over to gamblersworld.net. He's got them up right now. You don't want to miss out on them. And while you're over there, get into the bracket challenge, folks. your chance to win 1,000 buckaroos, $1,000. There you go. Gamblers wrote that net for that. Matt Fargo will be looking at the 12:40 tip-off between Purdue, the Boilermakers, and High Point catching an 8 spot here. Total 153.5. What's there to say about this game? So, High Point's 29-5 on the year. You got 2 losses in conference play, which is fine. You're going to lose the game in conference play. It's not going undefeated, but the out-of-conference schedule is what it is when you're High Point. You can only get so many teams to play you. You got Purdue. Why do I think this line looks a little short? Is it because of Purdue's past tournament history? I think Purdue's a pretty decent team. It's different from their other teams that kind of got upset here by your St. Peter's kind of clubs. But what do you think here, man? You got Purdue laying a big chunk here versus High Point 12:40 tip-off tomorrow.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to think the line is short, and that's why I do like High Point. Purdue's going to be, I think, a pretty public team in this game, just based on the conferences. High Point's won 14 straight coming out of their, much smaller conference, while Purdue lost 6 out of the last 9 regular season games, I believe. But that's in the Big Ten. Sure, that makes a big difference. But when you're talking about momentum coming in, High Point has it. Since their winning streak started, they're number 3 in 2-point field goal percentage. And over that same span, Purdue is number 364 in 2-point percentage defense, which is dead last in the country. Again, against a much tougher conference, I get it. But this team can score. And when you're getting 8 points, 8.5 points, whatever the case may be, when you can put points on the board, that back door is always there. So I think the Panthers keep us close. And outright, I wouldn't throw that out the window. Painter's gone out in the first round 5 was the last time he's been in the postseason. So
And
that loss is always a possibility.
There you go. Matt Fargo likes High Point plus the 8, but he says, you know what? I won't be shocked if Purdue goes down here. Brian, do you agree with that assessment or any part of the assessment?
Usually I'm pretty much aligned with what Matt has to say, but I think I'm going to lean towards Purdue here just because of their past performance in these tournaments, and they really entered into the big dance, limping, losses to Michigan and Illinois, not looking good against USC. High Point here has covered 7 of the last 8 games. I think they're going to be slightly a public dog. I mean, everybody knows who Purdue is, and they don't know who High Point is. But I think people like to take that upset in the first round. I just think Purdue has the athletes here to win this one by double digits. So that's where I'm going to lean to.
Yeah, I mean, to back up your point, I was saying Brady Smith is Big Ten player of the year, great player. He could win this game by himself, no doubt about it. I do give you that point where athlete-wise, yeah, it's probably no contest, but. Go back to just, a team that can score. That's my only real take on it, where they can backdoor it.
I like the points with you too, Matt. But Brian's point is kind of like we've been picked off before. We got to stay focused, this and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, it gets, that loss, the St. Peter's loss wasn't last year. It's not like. I guess you're going to go back to that. Well, how many times are you going to go back to that? We got upset as a 1 seed. If I'm a kid, I'd be like, fella, that's on you. I wasn't here for that. You did. You're a terrible coach. But that is the worrisome part. But also, it does still look a little low. Like, is that? Well, hey, listen, I like the points with you as well. I get it. High Point plus 8. Matt Fargo's pick here for the video. Get all of Matt's best bets at gamblersworld.net, where he's got NIT for thee up right now. Go get it. And again, at gamblersworld.net, while you're there, sign up for the bracket challenge. I don't know. Maybe we should say nobody gets signed up, and then we'll all get an extra, maybe Jim will send us like $250 or something. Like, hey, they don't sign up. There'll be some kind of DOS attack on the site, and he'll have an extra 1,000 floating around. We get matching shirts.
I signed up for the contest. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I did. So we'll see.
Are we allowed to? I'll do it.
The contest, yes.
That'll be the only bracket I fill out this year if I do it.
I'm not a big bracket guy because
There's a big difference between brackets and the handicap in the game.
It is, and I just find myself like looking at it, and all I see is like a point spread in the next game. Like, oh well, I want to take the dog here because I think they'll be getting like 5 points, right? I mean, that's why I look at a bracket. Again, yes, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell on so you know when we do our free pick videos. These are the early 3 on Thursday. Tomorrow, I'll be back with Chip and Doug, and we'll be doing 3 afternoon games, or night games, I should say. Omaha, St. John's, San Diego, Michigan, Washington, and what do you got? Texas Tech? I don't even know who the last one is. I forget who it is. Now I got to go look at the schedule. NC Wilmington and Texas Tech. NC Wilmington, Washington's NC Wilmington. Anyway, let's wrap this puppy up with your 1:30 p.m. Eastern game. Montana and Wisconsin. Here we go. The Badgers laying 17. A 17-piece here, 151.5. Nice little season for Montana. 25-9, 17-11 ATS. Here comes Big Bag Whiskey. You know, these guys go 21-13 ATS. I mean, that's not a bad number wise for these guys. But here I started looking at the big number. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking underdog right off the bat, right? Montana could score. I'm getting 17. It's a nice chunk. I look at some of these games they played here, guys. Lost by 31 at Oregon, 35 at Tennessee, 12 at Utah, 8 at St. Thomas, and Northern Iowa lose by 28. But more importantly, 89, 92, 95, 88, and 104 points allowed. So I'm going to go with the over in this one, 151, because they can't defend against the more athletic clubs. We've seen that here. That's an average of over 90 a game that they've allowed out of conference to. Not that Northern Iowa is similar, but it's still a step up in competition. I mean, stuff like that. Tennessee dropped 92 on them. I mean, 95 to Utah State. And then when I look at the numbers for Wisconsin versus these kind of smaller kind of schools, bigger numbers, they pushed a 24 versus Holy Cross, covered 16 versus Appalachian State, lost, didn't cover 20.5 versus Rio Valley, didn't cover 34.5 versus Chicago State, and didn't cover 17 versus Montana State. And why that one sticks out, because that's like, hello, that is a similar team, a conference foe. That game was 79-67. So is that going to get us a similar kind of score here? I think the Badgers are going to score a little bit more here. Even if they get the 79, I still think this could get over the 151.5. So give me the over 151.5. If you want to take the 17, I think they could probably stick around that number. We were talking about teams hanging around and a back door being open to come in and steal your cookies off the counter. I think Montana could definitely do that here. And I'll just go with the over for the show here. Over 151.5. Brian Bitler, what do you think?
I'm going to lean towards Wisconsin to take Montana out to the woodshed here. You see Montana's covered 4 straight going into this one. So it's pretty tempting here to for, I think, the bulk of the people to get 17.5 with Montana. Wisconsin started to heat up there in the Big Ten tournament. They lost to Michigan, but I just like the way the fundamentals with the Badgers here. I think they could easily it might be close at halftime, but by the time the second half rolls down, I could see Wisconsin, getting up by 20.
Well, listen, a woodshed beating would be a 20 or something point win. So if they're into the 80s, which I think they will be, then my total should be okay, I think. So,
yeah.
Matt Fargo, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I have a premium on this game, so I will. I'll look at your over now, and yeah, I see your point about Montana giving up a ton of points. They can score as well, and look at the past totals for both teams. It's shaded a little bit, by about 4 to 5 points over the last 10 games. So it's up there, but you make a point about, what Montana has given up, and they have given up a ton, no doubt about it. And the one thing that concerns me about Wisconsin and their defense is, they're coming out the game Sunday, they're playing Thursday, and they're playing in Denver, they're playing in elevation. So I don't know how the defense is going to be able to hold up with a pretty short amount of time to try to get used to the altitude change. So that could hurt their defense a little bit more, and which could, give Montana a little bit of a spark to score more. So, yeah, I'll lean towards your over as well.
in that you brought up the Denver bracket. I think VCU also played on Sunday. They're up in this region as well. And there's another. I think there's 3 teams up here that are playing up in Denver. Who's the other one that played on?
Yeah, and VCU's playing BYU, who is used
San
to it.
Diego, right? San Diego's is that the Denver game too as well? San Diego, Michigan. Again, a couple teams that played on. Michigan played on Sunday as well. So definitely something to think about there with the legs late in the altitude. But again, for the show, over 151.5 for me. Creighton plus 2.5 for Brian Bitler. High Point plus 8 for Matt Fargo. Those are the 3 free picks. Again, you want our best bets, head to gamblersworld.net, where not only we have premium picks, like Matt's game tonight on Montana and Wisconsin. Brian has you covered in college hoops, hockey, and NBA. I got a college basketball night. But your chance to win $1,000. Prove it. Everybody's a winner in the chat after the fact. They come in the live chat. Oh, I had this. Get in the tournament. It cost you nothing to get in the tournament.
I had a play video up yesterday. Somebody wrote, that aged well because I lost the play. But, I have these people that they like to leave comments after the game. So
yeah. How can you take the Cubs? They lost. Oh, thank you, Doctor. I'm glad you knew. After the fact. It is what it is. It's all right. I don't mind. Engagement. We could engagement.
Yeah, it's better than not commenting at all. I don't mind it.
Yes. I thought it was like, hit the like, hit the dislike. Say, your picture 1 and 2 yesterday. I lost because you guys stink. Hit the dislike. I don't mind. We'll come back and win you next day.
Call me a moron. At least you're paying attention.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. For everyone watching, Creighton plus 2.5, High Point plus the 8, over to Whiskey 151.5. Your 3 free plays today for Thursday early action. We'll be back tomorrow. Myself, Doug Upstone, Chip Turimis with your Thursday night games. So there you go. 6 to the 12 games we'll have for you right here or whatever. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for watching. And again, bracket challenge. Don't miss out. Take it easy, guys.